Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live cast. My name is Gina. My spiritual name is Lakshmi, and I'm very happy to be here with you today. Why? Because it is the day before Guru Purnima, or the full moon of the Guru. And what does this mean? This is a significant time, the most significant time of the entire year to connect with the Guru archetype. And if you have a Guru in physical form, this is the most powerful time of the entire year for you to build that connection with him or her and literally have the ability to change your life. And so today we're talking more specifically about how the Guru relationship and the Guru embodied or disembodied impacts your use of the Brzee Mantra and how there is a relationship with Brzee to gurus. I did talk a little bit about this in a prior video, but today we're going to go a little more into Dr. Pillai and Vishvamitra as they relate to the Guru and the use of Brzee, especially during this very powerful time. So, and I'm going to reveal a couple of little secrets that Dr. Pillai has only just touched upon in certain videos recently. So, Brzee is the mantra to remove scarcity. It removes scarcity of all kinds, removes scarcity from your consciousness as it relates to your health, as it relates to your wealth, your relationships, your mindset, everything where you feel there's lack. There's lack is scarcity. I have lack of, I can't have that much. That is scarcity. And Brzee, this simple sound, or very potent but looks perhaps simple sound, can be uprooting the scarcity consciousness from our mind, our body, and our spirit. So all aspects of us. This is important because this mantra came from a lineage of beings who helped manifest it. And who are they? They are Vishvamitra and Dr. Pillai. Vishvamitra lived thousands of years ago. He was considered a Brahma Rishi, which is the highest form of Rishi, highest form a human can attain in terms of evolution on the earth plane. He went through a lot of trials and tribulations. And if you read some of his stories, it's kind of endearing because he would sometimes have, anger issues, or, he's very relatable as a person because he would react and then kind of go back down to the beginning and have to redo all his tapas, all his work, his spiritual work that he had done to get himself to where he had been before that. And he had a bit of a, pride and ego thing going on. But when he finally received this highest honor of Brahma Rishi, he was in a state of bliss. And in this state of bliss, beings who attain this are able to go into other dimensions and meditate for literally what would be the equivalent of thousands of years on the earth plane. So he did this, and he went into 1,500 years of meditation, which means uninterrupted meditation, because he wanted to have a sound, a mantra, he wanted to be able to help the world so that we would all have a way to break out of scarcity consciousness. He knew the human mind was bringing us back to where we weren't able to evolve. We weren't able to have more abundance in our lives. So he went into this deep meditation, sacrificed all of this life and time and energy to come up with this sound. And the sound Brzee was born. Now, fast forward to 1998 or something like that. Dr. Pillai is in India traveling around like he normally does, and he often receives nadi readings. A nadi is, it's usually on a script on a palm leaf that's considered to be thousands of years old. And it's done in a very divine way where the reader is able to see and read what's on this palm leaf, this dried palm leaf. So he goes into this particular reader. They have a bundle for him. They look through it, and this leaf comes up, and he says, and the reader says, "There's this is from Vishvamitra." So the leaf itself is written by Vishvamitra, however many thousands or however many years ago. So Vishvamitra is giving in another, remember, very long time ago, he's now transmitting to Dr. Pillai in a physical form the message of Brzee. And it came about in a very unique way because he said to Elaine, which is Mohini, was in the room with Dr. Pillai. The reader said for her to look in your wallet and pull out a dollar bill. Now, she's the only Westerner in the room, right? Everyone's Indian, everyone's talking Tamil. She has no idea what's happening, but someone translates. Baba says, okay, pull out the dollar. She pulls out the dollar, and he said, there will be a letter, I think it's however many letters on the serial number. And it was, a B was there, and I think a Z was there. I don't know if the whole the lettering of the mantra was there, but on this dollar were the letters that he was wanting to find. So, and what's interesting is there's no Z in Tamil or Sanskrit. It's a very unique letter, but it was on the dollar bill. So they end up going through this whole reading where the letters one by one were identified, whether it was on the dollar bill or other places, I'm not sure, but definitely on the dollar bill. And then that's where the reader said, okay, it's Brzee. It's B-R-Z-E-E. And then the reader said, this will also be your name. You have to take this as your name. This is what the mantra Vishvamitra is giving to you to bring to the world so that you can spread the word that this sound can help change people's consciousness, can help remove their karma, can help remove scarcity. And so Dr. Pillai took that to heart. He changed his name. It was, I think, Brzee Maharishi or Maharishi Brzee it was for a while. He started using and promoting the sound Brzee. It's actually in Personal Transformation Program month 2 as a little, so it's been around for quite some time. Now, what does this have to do with the guru? Let's look at that situation. Vishvamitra meditated however many thousands of years ago for 1,500 years, then had to get this information to Dr. Pillai, which came through the Nadi scripture, this Nadi reading, verbally communicated to him with Mohini in the room, pulling out a dollar bill to get these letters to all of us. Dr. Pillai then begins to promote this in the late 1990s. Now it's 2020, and we have the ability to be chanting this sound over and over because of these gurus. Only because of these gurus. Vishvamitra and Dr. Pillai are the ones who co-created this mantra to bring it to the world. Vishvamitra's name literally means friend of the world because he wanted so badly to help all of us, to help the world. So now here's a little added information about this sequence. Dr. Pillai has recently shared that he also received another Nadi reading saying that he himself was Vishvamitra in that life. So here is Vishvamitra having the meditation and then reincarnating and then remembering through the use of a Nadi reading that he himself was the one who created the Brzee Mantra and then is the one who has to actually bring it to the world. So don't let your head get caught up in the logic of that in terms of how does this happen from lifetime to lifetime. Energies can be passed on. Identities can be passed on from life to life. Okay? So Vishvamitra, Dr. Pillai was Vishvamitra in a past life. He brought the sound to the world. Now it makes sense also logically. Here's this being who meditated for 1,500 years to create this sound, then now needs to get it everywhere. Guess what? His soul is probably really committed to that sound. He would incarnate and bring forth that energy. Now, Dr. Pillai holds a lot of beings in his body. So when we say he's an incarnation of Manakavaskar or Swami Ramalingam or Vishvamitra or Agastya, it's because those beings have all decided to conjoin with him in his physical body. Again, let's not get caught up in the logic of how that's possible, but that there's a lot of beings living in Dr. Pillai, and which gives him the power to bring more energy to us, more teachings to us, and more empowerment to us. So we're grateful for that. So that's how these beings have come to bring us the sound of Brzee, and why the full moon of the Guru is so important for us to honor them. If we think about what the lifetimes these enlightened beings go through to bring us information, it's incredible. It's incredible. So for the one time of the entire year, we get to pour out our love and gratitude in the biggest and grandest possible way to give thanks, to connect, to give gifts to the gurus as best we possibly can. And that is full moon of the guru. So that's how the guru's blessings are passed on and how Brzee was born. And that Brzee is Dr. Pillai and Dr. Pillai is Vishvamitra, and all together they're one and the same. As I mentioned, Dr. Pillai took the name of Brzee. When you take a name, you actually begin to embody that energy and that sound. It's an identity. So again, connecting Dr. Pillai to Brzee. Another thing that he mentioned, Dr. Pillai mentioned, is that Brzee can give you right thoughts, right thoughts. So it's an active participant. It can be an active participant in our life if we're bringing Brzee into our mind. When we bring Brzee into our mind by chanting it, we're actually bringing Dr. Pillai's energy, Vishvamitra's energy, and what they provide, which is the right thought. Right thought meaning letting go of negative thoughts, letting go of and dispelling darkness so that we get to align more with the light, with Brzee, with the gurus, with the ability to manifest and let go of our scarcity consciousness. So this Brzee energy is really, really potent for that reason. So I'll give you one last little antidote today, which is my experience in the Vishvamitra temple. It was just October 2019, and I was sitting there with a group of people, and I love Vishvamitra. I just have always loved him, and so I have a nice connection with him. So I'm sitting in the temple and meditating. We had limes in our hands, which Dr. Pillai asked us to do, which helps energy has a conducive energy through the body for allowing divine messages to come. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to talk to Vishvamitra, and I said, can you just bless everyone? Can you just bless everyone with wealth? And he said, no, I can't. And I was like, oh, and it was interesting because I wasn't sure I would hear from him. And he said, no, I can't. He said, he used the words, gosh, what was the words he used? I don't know if it was eligible, but there was a means in which he couldn't bless everybody. And I said, well, why not? What do they need to do? What's the remedy? And this is what I can't forget. This is in my mind. Brzee is the remedy. If you want to manifest wealth and you want to remove your scarcity, Brzee is the remedy. Why is Brzee the remedy? Because you have to do something. You have to activate that. You have to actually participate in it. It's not just going to happen to you because you made one thought or one prayer. You have to continually be churning this mantra over and over. And that takes something. That takes energy. And that takes grace. A lot of times we forget to chant. That's the remedy. Making sure you do the practice is the remedy. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that's really clear. A remedy is a sacrifice of something. It is whether someone does it on your behalf, like a priest in India, or you do it, perform something at home. It is a remedy that you do that helps offset karmas that you have. Brzee is the remedy. Chanting Brzee is the remedy. So Elizabeth just said, I feel drawn to Vishvamitra. Unexplainable. Me too. And I actually just have his little statue here, which I love, 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 love this. This is the statue that we had made from the statue that is in the Vijayapati temple in India. This is where his main shrine is. I don't think anyone has ever made a replica of this. In fact, the first time we did, and I took pictures, and that's how we made this. And I'm just so in love with him. So in fact, the first time after we made these, we brought them to the temple, and the priests were like, oh my God, they loved it. One of them disappeared. We think maybe someone slid one into their pocket, which was just fine. But the priests were just really in love with them as well. So here's our Vishvamitra. We've made a larger one too. We made a 6-inch, but because of COVID, we're not able to get them shipped right now. But when we open back up, when India opens back up to be shipping, we'll have these available to you. This is what, like 2.5 inches or 2 inches or something. And he's just really, really special. So that's where you can go ahead and use a statue to connect with Vishvamitra. Dr. Pillai has pictures of himself or Vishvamitra. You can connect that way. And then there's, so that's where I want to kind of wrap up. If there's any questions around Vishvamitra and Dr. Pillai and the connections there, and if you have any sharing you'd like to do, would love to hear that. Can anyone chant Shreem Brzee without approval of Dr. Pillai, or do I have to be a member? No, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. We definitely recommend you hear Shreem Brzee and Dr. Pillai's voice, that you at least have that type of interaction with it, but you don't need personal approval. Vishvamitra and Dr. Pillai put this mantra out there so that everyone can use the sound, and that's what it is. Amazing backstory, no questions needed, super. Yes, I want to hear that, committing to Shreem Brzee. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, last thing I wanted to talk about is for tomorrow. So tomorrow, meaning July 4th, which is Guru Purnima, full moon of the Guru, Pillai Center has put together a whole page of activities that you can do all in totally free. Check that out and have ways to connect with Dr. Pillai. And then there's a full moon fire lab at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That one is not free, it's paid, but you're definitely welcome to join that. And that will honor both Vishvamitra and Dr. Pillai because it's a Shreem Brzee fire lab. So we will be calling upon and giving honor to both of them. And we're very excited about that. So the full moon fire lab, 6 p.m. Pacific time, July 4th, and that one is $36, so it's not very much at all. And it's performed by Priest Premaraja, who's an English-speaking priest who's been serving Dr. Pillai for many, many years, and he is just fabulous. So we invite you to join that. Okay, questions. How many times do I have to chant? At least 108 times, correct. And as many times as you can. I like to sit and meditate and do it. This is my Shreem Brzee mala. Sometimes I use this. Sometimes I just set a little timer and just chant for 10 minutes and go into a meditation. I love the mala because you get to be reminded. I get to be reminded, and then also it just feels really good. It's been energized, and these gemstones are all aligned with Shreem Brzee. So you can use a mala. You can just set a timer and chant. I just like to chant it as much as I possibly can throughout the day as I'm doing other activities. Filling the mind with the mantra as much as you can is really, really helpful. I put the sound on a player and just let it go 24/7, Shreem Brzee or Brzee. So there's always a way for it to be, I'm reminded of it. Someone's asking about my daily practice of chanting Brzee. So I put a little sticker on the side, or piece of paper on the side of my bed. So when I wake up, if I don't remember, the first thing I can do, I can look at that little notepad or reminder, and it says to chant. So as I'm lying in bed, I just feel grateful, take a moment, feel grateful for what I have in my life, be grateful for Dr. Pillai and Vishvamitra, just be grateful. And then I start chanting a little bit, and then I go about my day. After I've showered, then I can do some meditation or more. I usually do a little puja, of which he's on my altar. You can meditate before you shower too. Like if some people I know who just stay in bed and meditate, that's fine. But you definitely need to shower before you do any sort of puja or offerings. And I do that to him and the others. I have little statues in the morning and in the evening. And then in the evening, if I have some time, I like to do some more chanting or meditating. So I don't have a strict schedule. But I pretty much couch it mornings and evenings to do my practices so that the middle of the day I work. Now, where do the goddess come into place? That's the question on chat. So the goddess is so when Vishvamitra is meditating, it's Brzee Brzee manifested in the form of a goddess, a feminine energy, which is the one who gives us the creative power. So goddess was born from this meditation, Brzee, and that is how we are receiving the blessings of Shreem Brzee. River Sky is asking, can I see Dr. Pillai as my guru? I'm not a member of Pillai Center. How can I call Dr. Pillai as my guru? Of course. So Dr. Pillai is, you don't need to be a member of anything. You go to Pillai Center YouTube or PillaiCenter.com. read and listen and learn as much as you want. If he calls to you, if it feels like he's your teacher, then by all means you begin to engage in him. You don't need to pay anything. There's nothing that you need to do other than connect with him. So you connect. It's a really good question. There's nothing to register for. There's nothing to pay for. If you decide to take Dr. Pillai as your guru, that's with you, between you and him. And if you love him and you are bringing devotion and surrender to the table when you have that connection with him, then that's how the relationship is formed. There's no official registration or anything. Your guru is whoever you are called to and who calls you to them in order to have that relationship, in order to create miracles. And I did another video on this one about a week ago, more specifically about how to cultivate and develop the guru relationship and why it's important. So you might want to watch that one too. But thank you for that question. That was really good. No need to sign anything or join anything. Just Dr. Pillai is here freely to everybody. Nancy said she can feel the energy from the mala. Yeah, it's super powerful. I love it. Okay, so India is closed, so we don't have the new ones coming out, but I think we might have a few in the US, Nancy. If you write to our office, we can probably get one for you. But the majority of them are in India, and that shipping is closed. But if you write to office@pillaicenter.com asking for this mala, I believe we have some in the US we can ship. All right, I think that's everything. If you want to do more, there's some questions about connecting and doing more in-depth study with Dr. Pillai. There's free courses, academy.pillaicenter.com. There should be a link below. We often get on our email list because we often have free events. Like every month, Sucharita hosts weekly free live calls every Saturday night Pacific time. So there's ways for you to definitely get involved, and we certainly welcome that. And there's also paid programs if you want to have more content, more structure. Then we have courses that are paid that you can join as well. All right, so thank you so much for joining. Now, today is a power time. It's Friday, so you can connect more specifically with Stream Brzee and Goddess and the Goddess. And then the full moon, which is always a really powerful time to connect with the Goddess. But we have the special full moon of the Guru, which is a great time to connect with Vishvamitra and Dr. Pillai as the Gurus of Brzee. So I wish you immense blessings on this very special Guru Purnima day and weekend, and I will talk to you soon. I'm here every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time with live videos. And if you have suggestions, write us, office@pillaicenter.com, and let us know. So I'll be happy to make some videos based on your questions and suggestions. We'll talk to you soon. Namaste.